Welcome back to our KCSE PPR1 prediction. That is the 2025 question 23. In a certain school, students captured and recorded 100 butterflies in an area measuring 20 meter by 20 meter. They were marked before releasing them back on day 3. 50 butterflies were captured, 20 of which had marks. Estimate the population of the butterflies in a field of 100 meter by 100 meter, that is a 4 marks. And the method of population estimation, that is a capture-recapture method. The formula is first captured times second captured over marked recaptured. And the first captured we have 100 butterflies times second captured, that is a 50 butterflies here. Here. Then over marked recaptured, and that is a 20 of which had marks, that is marked recaptured. When you substitute, you get 250 butterflies. And the 250 butterflies was the population under an area measuring 20 meter by 20 meter. When you multiply 20 meter by 20 meter, you get 400 meters squared. If 400 meters squared is equals to or contains 250 butterflies, what about a field or an area of 100 meter by 100 meter, that is 10,000 meters squared, that is equals to 10,000 times 250 over 400, get 6,250 butterflies. Identify the apparatus they will require to preserve the recaptured butterflies, and that is a specimen bottle. Question 24. The table below shows blood composition of Musime, Kevin, and Leonard. Study it and answer the questions that follow. You can see the table. The person Musime, Kevin, Leonard. Musime has red blood cells 8,000, Kevin 5,000, Leonard 2,000. White blood cells, Musime 100, Kevin 6,000, Leonard 4,000. Platelets, Musime 100,000, Kevin 150,000, Leonard 700. Part A. Which person is likely to live in high altitudes? Explain. To answer that question, we must see the person with highest number of red blood cells, and that is Musime. And in high altitudes, we have insufficient amounts of oxygen, and therefore the body adjusts or readjusts by producing more number of red blood cells for efficient transportation of oxygen. And that's why marathon runners, they prefer training in areas with high altitudes, because the number of red blood cells will increase and there'll be faster and efficient supply of oxygen for them to run for very long distances. Then, which person's blood have or has an iron deficiency in his diet? Explained. That is Leonard, because Leonard has the least number of red blood cells, and iron is important in the diet due to increasing the production of red blood cells. And because the person has least number of red blood cells, it means he or she has a deficiency of iron in the diet. And maybe someone can ask a question, from the table, maybe you name the person who is maybe suffering from an illness, and that will be Kevin, because he has the highest number of white blood cells. Remember, when you have a disease or an illness, the number of white blood cells are able to increase to counter the illness or those pathogens causing the illness. Question 25. Root nodules in leguminous plants in infertile soils are more compared to leguminous plants growing in fertile soils? Explain. More root nodules to fix more nitrogen in infertile soils. Remember, the infertile soils have little amounts of nitrogen. Therefore, you'll have more root nodules to fix more nitrogen. While in fertile soils, more nitrogen already available in the soil, hence low number of root nodules in leguminous plants. Question 26. A longitudinal section of a kidney from a desert mammal known as kangaroo rat shows a thin cortex. What is the biological significance of this structure modification? For packaging of few and small glomerulus, and this is to reduce the amount of water filtered into the glomerular filtrate, thus encouraging water retention. Remember, a desert mammal needs to conserve water because we have little amounts of water in the desert. So those mammals living there, they need to adjust, find ways or modification to conserve the little amount of water available. Question 27. Name 2 factors that will affect the movement of potassium ions in a cell. We have concentration gradient and also energy plus metabolic poisons. Remember, the movement of potassium ions in a cell is mainly through active transport. And active transport, remember, it requires energy from respiration, and without respiration there will be no production of energy, hence it will affect movement of potassium ions because the carrier molecules required use energy to transport those molecules against the concentration gradient. Question 28. What is the modification of a lysosome that suits its role? And that is, it contains lytic enzymes or the lytic enzymes which are able to destroy worn out cells or a cell organelles or the tissues. Question 29. In one of the hospitals, potted plants are removed from the wards at night. Explain. And this is because the plants at night utilize better oxygen for respiration as compared to patients. And due to insufficient oxygen, the patients will suffocate and die. And that is why the potted plants are removed from the wards at night. Question 30. Name 2 cycles which form the mammalian double circulatory system. And that is a pulmonary circulation and a systemic circulation. Question 31. Explain the emergence of flightless birds according to Lamarck's theory. In Lamarck's theory, it was about use and disuse, which eventually led to formation of vestigial structures. And in this case, there was no environmental demand for the use of the wings. Therefore, the wings ceased to be functional over time and reduced in size. That is what we say being vestigial. And that was Lamarck's theory. Question 32. Illustrated below are the dates of menstruation and ovulation in a human female in a 31-day period of time. You can see the menstruation period here. Indicate on the illustration the dates during which the female will most likely to conceive if sexual intercourse took place. And in this case, that is a during, a few days to ovulation or a few days after ovulation. And that is between 18th to 23rd. That is when the female will likely to conceive. Part B, name the hormone that will be secreted on the 13th day of the above cycle and state its role. We have the 13th day here. That is immediately after menstruation. And that is follicle stimulating hormone. Because it is an M, you cannot write FSH. Write in full follicle stimulating hormone. And the role of follicle stimulating hormone, and it stimulates growth and development of the Graafian follicles. And in case estrogen is written, stimulates repair and healing of the endometrium. Question 33. Give two examples of natural selection in action, and that is industrial melanism. That was talking about different variety of moth. Then resistance to drugs or pesticides and antibiotics. Then also sickle cell trait. And this natural selection is about individuals, organisms with advantageous traits. They are able to reach sexual maturity, reproduce, and pass the advantageous traits to their offsprings until this trait is in the subsequent generations. Then, unlike disadvantageous traits which are eliminated before sexual maturity, hence they cannot be passed to subsequent generations. Question 34. Name the subdivision of the cone-bearing plants. The subdivision is Gymnospermatophyta or Gymnospermae or Gymnospermaphyta. Two similarities between xylem trachea and xylem vessels. They both have lignin deposits on their wall, and they all have dead cells, and also they have perforations. Thank you for listening. You can comment and share more for these prediction questions for KCSE 2025.